Hey, what it is, what it ain't. This your boy Lil Duwatt, and you are now watching the Mercenary podcast. What's up, y'all? This is episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Y'all, eight of them things. We done made it to episode 8. It's been a few days since I made an episode. I've been busy, been having a lot going on. I'm trying to be more consistent and I'm trying to do episodes daily. I'm trying to do it daily. I be having so much stuff going on in my personal life, my daily life, that I can't shoot an episode like I want to every day, like I really want to. I have to actually carve out time to make an episode. So once again, I know I've been saying it the last couple episodes, but I promise I am going to get to the point where I can do this daily, Monday through Friday. But until then, for right now, I'm going to keep dropping these episodes a little bit sporadically because I'm trying to get everything set up the way that I want to. I'm not going to always be doing this in my car, even though, I'm probably more than likely going to be in my car more than the time, majority of the time, because, I love this feeling of being able to talk to y'all. And this is where it all started, you know what I'm saying? So we ain't going to change it. Even if the car changes, we're not changing. But, welcome to the Mercenary podcast, man. Like I said, I'm the host with the most, Lil Duwatt. Happy Sunday to anybody who's watching this. I hope you guys have had a blessed week. I hope you've had a blessed weekend so far. I hope everything has been going great for you guys. Got a lot of things to talk about, a lot of topics. We are officially in off-season mode. NBA Finals is done, over with. We have a new champion. The NBA draft just passed. We got a new number 1 overall pick. And we are moving forward with NBA free agency. We're about to talk about a lot of those things. I got a couple topics that I want to talk about with those things as well. But before we can go any further, I got to start every episode the exact same way. And that is by giving a thank you, a shout out to my sponsor, your sponsor, our sponsor, God. Because without him, none of this would be possible. I wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be here. And we wouldn't be able to do these things. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to the big God. Always got to give a shout out to our sponsor. Got to give a shout out to God always. With that being said, episode 8, man, we're starting to rack these things up, man. I'm proud of, like I said, I wish I could be a little bit more consistent with these things. I'm working on it. It's going to come together. I got a lot of stuff planned. I got a lot of guests that want to be on it. So we working. Just trust me. We working. Just be patient with me. We working. A lot more music that's about to come out on the way as well. Go stream my new song, Last Long, out right now. Video on the way. About to shoot a video for this. About to drop the video on the way. So just be patient with me. And of course, as every episode, it's gonna always be 420 friendly. So if you don't smoke, that's okay. Might not be the podcast for you because it's gonna be a lot of weed smokers on this podcast, okay? But it's all right though. I love you anyway. If you do smoke, then you already know, roll one up. Let's talk shit together and let's, you know what I'm saying? Let's go up. But blah, blah, blah. Got much mouth right quick. Before I go to the first topic, as always, I want to give a daily mental health check up. I want to always do a daily mental health check. It's not just a mental health check on myself, not just so much about myself, but more so for everybody else, even though I'm giving a mental health check about myself. Lately, I've been doing better. I've been feeling good. The last couple days, I've been feeling really good. I remember the last episode I told you guys I was kind of up and down with it, with my mood and stuff. And I've been doing a pretty good job at that lately. I've been okay. I've been feeling better. I've been able to talk to people. I've been able to vent a little bit more. And I'm able to work out whatever issues that I've been having. I'm currently working out on whatever issues that I feel like that I have right now, because a lot of issues stem from trauma, and when you go with a long time and go years with a lot of unhealed trauma, it starts to affect you. And I be getting affected. I get angry randomly just for you know what I'm saying, just for certain reasons that, you know what I'm saying, it don't even really be meaning anything. Like it just be crazy. Like it just really be loneliness most of my thing most of the time. It be loneliness. But it's all good though, man. Like I can't complain. Everything good. I'm alive. I got my health right now. I just really, before I filmed this podcast, I just got through going for a walk. I did a couple miles around it. I feel good right now. Go back home later, take me a shower so I can refresh and recharge. But I feel good. I'm trying to add that into my routine more often. I used to walk and stuff all the time. So just to kind of keep my mind free, keep myself distracted from all the daily stress of life. But other than that, I'm really good though. Like everything's good. Like I can't really complain. I hope you guys are okay. And like I said on every episode, and I'm gonna continue to say it, like if you have anything that you want to talk to me about, feel free to comment. Feel free to comment and let me know what topics you want me to talk about, or let me know what your mental health is hitting on. Like if you don't want to talk about it in the comments, obviously just you can always hit me up on my social medias. Lil Duwatt is my what is Lil Duwatt. You can hit me up on Lil Duwatt on TikTok. I'm on TikTok. You can DM me on Instagram at the real Duwatt, THE_real REAL_Duwatt DUWATT. That is THE_REAL_DUWATT. That is my Instagram, the real Duwatt. And you can DM me there, or you can add me on Facebook, and you can DM me there if you guys want to talk. At Darius Duwatt, DARIUSDUWATT. That's my Facebook. Like you guys, I like being able to communicate with the people who's watching me, my supporters, because at the end of the day, we all together. And mental health is really important, and I want to make sure that everybody's mental is important, because at the end of the day, we all need somebody to lean on. We all need somebody to talk to, and if I can be that for you guys, then that's more than enough for me. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not just me helping you, you guys are helping me as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're all together. So I like hearing different perspectives and different people's stories and what they're going through, and I like being able to help people. That's like part of my passion in life outside of music and entertainment. My biggest passion in life is being able to help people. So yeah, feel free to hit me up anytime. I'll get back with you guys whenever I get the chance. I work during the week mostly. When I'm not at work, I'm shooting videos, I'm writing songs, I'm doing music, I'm with family, I'm with friends. So, you know, I got a lot going on. But that doesn't mean I won't get back to you, especially if it's something that, you know, if it's something serious and you guys want to talk to me about something as far as like with your mental health. I'm always going to take my time out of my day to be able to talk to you guys. So feel free to, whatever anytime, I'm always here. My door's always open. So, but that's the daily mental health check. For me, like, again, please hit me up from all my socials. Show love. If you've been watching since the first episode, I appreciate you. If you're a new subscriber and you're a new watcher, welcome to my channel. Thank you. We're gonna have fun. It's only gonna get bigger and better from here. I promise. With that being said, let me get done. I love them. I love those Arizonas, bro. That'd be good. That'd be fine. Like, be tasting like heaven in a can. Every flavor. With that being said, let's talk about a few things today. I got something to say. We got a lot of things have been going on in the world, obviously. NBA, the draft just happened. Cooper Flag is now your #1 overall pick. The Dallas Mavericks chose him with the #1 pick. Dylan Harper went #2 from Rutgers. it was a pretty good draft. It was a pretty good draft. Ace Bailey, who we talked about on the previous podcast, got drafted 5th overall to the Utah Jazz. It was a pretty good draft. I believe about 3 guys from Duke got drafted in the top 10, if I'm not mistaken. So it was a overall really good class for Duke. Overall good class, period. I think this is going to be one of the best classes we've seen in a while. That's just what I believe. I think because there's a lot of good players in this draft. I think it's the first time in a while that the first 10 picks, I believe, were all freshmen, if I'm not mistaken. I think the first top 10 were all freshmen. So that's saying something. That to me just lets you know the potential of this class. But starting with the number 1 pick first, I think Cooper Flagg is gonna fit in perfectly with the Dallas Mavericks. I'm still shocked that the Dallas Mavericks even ended up getting the number 1 overall pick with a 1.8% chance. Shocked. Still can't believe it. Even after trading Luka Doncic and the injuries that they had, Kyrie Irving being out for a year, still couldn't believe that this was going to happen. But hey, the Dallas Mavericks fan base needed something. They had been sulking for months without Luka. It's just been rage. It's been sadness. It's just been a lot going on in Dallas. But I do believe Cooper Flagg is going to be a really good player for them. He's an all-around player. He has a good shot. He's a good rebounder. He's a good passer. I think he should post up a little bit more because he does have a post-up game. He's only got to get better. He got to get better at his handle and get his handle a little tighter. He's going to become a better shooter. He has great size. He's about 6'8", I believe. I think he's going to be really good, and I think the Dallas Mavericks are going to be pretty good, especially if and when Kyrie Irving comes back, and probably I believe he's targeting around January to February. That's his target, and if he comes back looking completely healthy and looking really good, and AD is healthy, and you got Lively and you got Gafford, who just signed a new 3-year, $60 million extension. Shout out to Daniel Gafford. Congratulations on that, my friend. Congratulations on that contract extension. And I believe Kyrie Irving is also expecting to sign a new 3-year, $12 million contract, if I'm not mistaken. So shout out to those guys, and it's well deserved for Kyrie Irving. Well deserved for both guys, but well deserved. But that team, to me, they have veteran leadership. For Cooper Flagg, they got Klay Thompson still there. They got a lot of guys that can really help Cooper Flagg adjust quickly. And he's gonna be one of the rare first round picks that get drafted to a team that's already pretty much ready made to be a championship contender. You don't have to go through the rebuilding phase for years to get good, go from really bad for a couple years to get really good. They have a chance to be pretty good already, even while Kyrie Irving's out. So I'm interested to see how they do it. I'm interested to see just exactly how it works, how they fit together, how much better he can get as well in a deep Western Conference. A very deep Western Conference. So I'm really interested in that. We'll see. But the San Antonio Spurs had the 2nd pick. They took Dylan Harper. That's more of a head scratcher. Not so much more about Dylan. It's not really so much about Dylan Harper, but it's much more about the San Antonio Spurs and their guards that they have. Because in case you haven't been watching basketball, or if you're not that big of a basketball fan, or if you are a basketball fan, you pretty much know that the Spurs traded for De'Aaron Fox last season, and also have the Rookie of the Year, Stephon Castle, 2 point guards, by the way, and De'Aaron Fox and Stephon Castle, and you draft one of the best players in this draft, who just so happens to be a point guard, in Dylan Harper. So I'm not sure exactly what the Spurs are going to do there. I guess they felt like the talent of Dylan Harper was too good to pass up, but you already had the rookie of the year, Stephon Castle, who was a point guard, and then you had De'Aaron Fox. You didn't really need another point guard. Maybe Stephon Castle is more of a 2, I believe, but they got a lot of guards, though. That's the whole thing. They're deep at guards. They got a lot of guards. So I'm really interested to see how that works out with Victor Wembanyama coming back. I do expect, like I said in a previous episode, I do expect Victor Wembanyama to make a huge jump. I think Victor Wembanyama is going to be, I think Victor Wembanyama is going to surprise a lot of people, and you're going to start to see him start to scratch the surface of his potential. I really do. I think he's going to come out and have an MVP caliber season. I really do. It's hard to believe he's already entering his 3rd season, Diane. That's just look at how fast time flies. It just seems like it was just a year ago we was talking about him being the most hyped pick since LeBron James, and now we've already 2 years in, going on year 3. It's crazy. But I do expect him to have a huge jump. Greg Popovich has stepped down as a head coach about a month ago. The great, legendary 5-time champion Greg Popovich. They do have a new coach who's been in that system. I mean, he's a Greg Popovich guy, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. But if he's been in that organization, the way that the San Antonio Spurs organization is run, I'm pretty sure they're going to do it. They're going to be okay. They're going to be okay. But I'm interested to see how they construct this roster around Victor. Especially with all these guards. I do think they need a couple more bigs. I do think they need another big to come off the bench so Victor can have some rest, and or move over and play the 4, where he doesn't have to always play the 5. But with him being 7'4", 7'5", him being at the 4 is just unfair. It's just unfair to a degree. He can shoot, he can defend, he can pretty much do everything, and he's still only getting better. He has a handle, he has a jump shot, he can pull away from 3, he hit you with a fadeaway, he can post you up, which he should do more, post you up more, and he'll be so dominant once he adds on more muscle and he realizes that. But yeah, I think the Spurs are going to be pretty good. I'm interested to see what they're going to do. I'm interested to see with Dylan Harper, how he fits into the rotation with these guards, and see how they're going to do. But I think the Spurs are going to be one of those sneaky teams next year that's going to make a run for the playoffs. I really do. Depending on who they add in free agency, I think they have that chance. I'm only saying that right now, because of strictly because of Victor Wembanyama and the need for people to want to play with Victor Wembanyama. That's why I'm saying that. We'll see after free agency what the teams look like, and then we'll be able to dive into it deeper to where I feel like the teams are going to rank going into this season. Ace Bailey getting drafted 5th overall to the Utah Jazz is really interesting, because the Jazz were one of the team, I believe, that was not on his list. If you guys haven't watched before or don't know who Ace Bailey is a forward from Rutgers. He I think he's a forward. He may be a guard or a forward. I think he's both. But he played for Rutgers, and he was one of the best pure scorers in all of college basketball last year. And he's only about 19 years old. But he has a whole load of potential. He's really talented. If you don't know the story about him leading up to the draft, he was one of those guys that didn't want to work out. He didn't work out for any teams. I don't even think he even interviewed with any teams, which is very unusual. Like, I had that talk in the last episode, I believe, before the draft. But yeah, he had a very unusual pre-draft routine, I guess you could say. And he hadn't met with any of the teams because he expected to fall anywhere between 3 and 8. So he just automatically assumed he was going. He was right. Him and his team was right. But I'm very interested in the situation because it's kind of unusual for that to happen. As you know, the Utah Jazz, they've been desperate for star power since they let Donovan Mitchell walk a couple seasons ago, or since they traded him to the Cleveland Cavaliers. I'm sorry, a couple seasons ago, and they've been in rebuild mode pretty much since then. They are looking for star power. They're trying to get out of the basement of the Western Conference, which is going to be hard the way the West is, but they're trying to get out of the basement of the West, and they're trying to do some things. And getting a guy like Ace Bailey is really interesting. They also got another first-round pick as well, and Clayton Jr. I think I don't want to mess up his first name. But yeah, they had 2 first-round picks as well. But why I say this is interesting is because we don't really know that. We know that the Jazz were one of the teams that wasn't on his list of him going there, but we don't really know, like, if we know he didn't want to go there beforehand, but now that he actually got drafted by them, I'm interested to see, is he actually gonna show up for summer league and training camp and stuff like that, because this is gonna tell me a lot about who Ace Bailey is as well, because he's having a lot of talk that he could possibly, like, they're like, you know, people talk, especially when you're being a young black man and a young successful black man who's on his way to riches and just now coming to his own. They're ready to put that stigma on you that you're a selfish kind of person. You know, you guys know how it is. I think I'm interested in seeing how it works. I think I'm trying to get my thoughts. Excuse me, I'm trying to collect my thoughts. But I think Ace Bailey is, excuse me. I'm trying to, because I want to say what I want to say without it sounding so bad. But it's like, to me, this is going to test his character. Because you don't want teams to, like, you already had a pre-draft process where teams were kind of like, he's not even going to meet us because he doesn't even think he doesn't want to play here. It's not only that they already feel like you don't want to play with certain teams, which makes them feel like you might be entitled. But if you actually got drafted by one of the teams that you didn't want to play for, and he doesn't show up, I'm just saying, I'm not gonna say this looks bad on the Utah Jazz. I will say it's gonna look bad on Ace Bailey, because I need a lot of people to understand. I get it. Like, you should want to go somewhere where you feel like your career can grow and thrive, and you can become the best basketball player that you can possibly be. If you feel like you have the potential to be the best player in the world, you want to go somewhere where you can be the best player in the world, and I get that, where you have a chance to succeed and win. But at the same time, you got to understand, like, and I'm not saying that he's thinking like this. I'm just saying of what the perspective is, like not the perspective of what it looks like. If he doesn't show up to training camp, if he doesn't show up to summer league, what it's gonna look like. And he looked pretty happy when he did get drafted, or unless he was pretending. I'm just saying, I'm not trying to throw out any cap on his name or nothing like that, and saying that's what he about. I'm just saying, for what it looks like and what it could be. That's why I say this is really interesting for me, because it's like, I can't remember a time where we had a first round pick, not in the NBA, not like this, like in the NFL, where we had a first round pick that didn't want to go to a team that he was drafted by. And we've seen it happen with the Mannings, with Eli Manning, all the way back in 2004 for the new generation. Where the Chargers had the #1 pick and he didn't want to go to San Diego. They end up trading, I think they traded down to the 5th pick with the New York Giants. Obviously, Manning and Eli goes #1, Phillip Rivers goes #5, and the rest is history. We haven't seen that type of situation in the NBA from a top pick. though. Not that I can remember in my recent memory. And I say that because like I just want these guys to understand that it's not a right to play in the NBA. It's not a right to play in the NFL, and it's not a right to play in Major League Baseball, Major League Soccer. You don't have the rights. You don't have that right. It's a privilege, not a right. You earn your way to the NBA. You earn your way to the NFL. You earn your way to Major League Baseball, etc. And I understand that, like, don't get me wrong, like, let me put it like, speaking for me, from my perspective, like right now, as a rapper, I could think that I'm one of the best rappers in the world, and I do. But I'm not gonna, I can't just see myself, I'm out here like, I can't just see myself just turning down deal after deal after deal after deal after deal. Okay, maybe that's a different situation because he's getting drafted and I'm getting offered a deal. But it's kind of saying it like this, like, I can't see myself in a situation where, even though I worked hard to get where I'm at, I can't see myself carrying myself in a way where it's like I feel like I'm better than, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to put it into words because I don't want to come off like I'm bashing this kid, because I don't want to bash this kid. I believe he's a really good kid. I really do. But I just, like, if I put myself in his shoes, I just wouldn't be able to. I understand what you're doing, but at the same time, there's only been a handful of players in the 75-year of the NBA that have been able to have the opportunity and the privilege to getting drafted. And regardless, and a majority of them have all gotten drafted, LeBron James included, to teams that were not really good and were not good teams. That doesn't stop your growth. If you're as good as you say you are, you should welcome that challenge. Now, if you don't win a championship while you're there, you just don't win a championship. That's just what it is, and you move on and somewhere where you can. At least it's not for a lack of you trying. But I just like it's just, I just don't understand. Like, to me, it's just like I can't wrap my mind around guys, and because even with the Eli Manning situation, even though it worked out for them, it's just like it gives this like message that I don't need you, you guys need me. And we all know the NFL and the NBA don't need nobody. They don't need nobody. They produce new stars every single year, with or without you. And that's really the point that I'm trying to make. That's why I'm saying I'm so interested in seeing what the Utah Jazz happen, and I'm really interested in what he does with the Utah Jazz, because I don't want him to have that stigma of, I don't need you guys need me. I don't want him to have that personality trait as a young 19-year-old rookie who's trying to learn his way. Because let me tell you something, brother. If that's where your mindset is, you're not gonna last long in this league, because you never know who you're gonna need. You never know who you're gonna need. Like, I can turn down every record deal in the book, but if I'm not doing it with humbleness, and I'm doing it because I feel like you ain't good enough for me, but then I sign somebody else and I get dropped, and I need, the money to get, you know what I'm saying, to produce my music, and the only other people that I can know that'll give me a shot is the ones who I turned down years ago. Yeah, you think they're gonna give me that record deal? Nah, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So just remember that. Just remember that. Like, I know I said that a lot about that in the last episode, so, but yeah, it's the same thing. But I hope he shows up. I hope he plays. I hope he turns into the player that I believe he is, and the player that he believes he is, that he can become. And because, Utah does need stars and a deep Western Conference, and he will be one of those guys who I believe in this draft class could be that. So, but congratulations to him as well for getting drafted. Congratulations to all these guys for getting drafted. It's a like I said, it's a privilege, but it's also a blessing as well to be able to change your life and to be able to change your family's life and to be able to change your fortune around for the better and be able to do something to live your dream. It don't get any better than that. It doesn't get any better than being able to live your dream. So yeah, something that I'm still striving for every single day, but we gonna get there though. We gonna get there. Okay, but free agency is coming up next week. We've already got a lot of trades and stuff that's happened. Drew Holiday getting traded to the Portland Trail Blazers. Kristaps Porzingis getting traded to the Atlanta Hawks. The Celtics are basically, they were shopping Jaylen Brown. I didn't think that they were going to pull the trigger on that Jaylen Brown trade anyway. So the Celtics are basically retooling as Jason Tatum is gonna miss all of next year with an ACL injury. Get well, Jason Tatum. It's been a lot of things. Obviously, Kevin Durant getting traded to the Rockets. We talked about it the last episode. So there's a lot of news that's been going on in the NBA, even in the off season. A lot of stuff that's been going on, and I'm gonna keep my eye on it. I can't rank these teams. Like I said, I'm gonna get into an individual ranking after free agency, and I'm gonna give you guys after the free agency period. So far during free agency period, during the free agency period, depending on who goes where, then I'm gonna give you guys my preseason rankings from 1 through 5, or I might do 1 through 10, and we're gonna take it there. We'll feel like who my top 10 teams are so far before the season, going into the season, and we'll see how it pans out during the season. But yeah, my biggest draft winner so far is would have to be the Dallas Mavericks. I'm not gonna lie. Getting Cooper Flag #1 overall with the team that they already have, coming in, even with the injuries, to me, that I just can't see how they are not the biggest winners. I feel like that they have a chance to be a playoff team, and if Kyrie Irving comes back fully healthy, if Cooper Flag turns out to be the third best player on this team behind Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving, I think they go from a good playoff team to a championship contender. Seriously. So I just ran out of blunt. Yeah, I'm gonna roll up another one, y'all, because I ain't gonna lie, I'll be talking my ass off. Y'all know I be rambling and stuff. I was trying to get into I want to get into other like NFL news, because like I said, the off season is so slow, guys. It's been very few things going on. Most of the free agency period and everything I think is already happening in the NFL, and they already had their draft a couple months ago. But they are starting. I think training camp is gonna start next month. Training camps are starting next month. I'm gonna also give y'all a top 10 who I think is gonna be the top 10 teams going into the NFL season as well. Matter of fact, I can give you my top 5 right now. I'm going to do that. I'm going to give you my top 5 going right now, starting at number 5. My number 5 team going into the NFL season as of now is the Baltimore Ravens. Simple fact they got Lamar Jackson. They still got Derrick Henry. They still got Zay Flowers. The defense it got better toward the end of the season. I gotta see, like, the defense is still my biggest mystery. Still my biggest concern on that team, but it's not my biggest, like, most major concern, because with the Baltimore Ravens, for me, the only reason they're number 5 is because it's not really even a talent thing. I think it's just so much more. It's a mental thing. Like Lamar Jackson, John Harbaugh, and those guys, they have got to prove. Well, not so much John Harbaugh, really Lamar Jackson. He's got to prove, and the rest of the Baltimore. Yeah, I'll put it on John Harbaugh as well. And the rest of the Baltimore Ravens, they have to prove that they can get to that next level, that they can beat Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, and the rest of the top tier, and Joe Burrow, the rest of the top tier quarterbacks in the NFL. So yeah, number 5 is going to go to the Baltimore Ravens. I want to see them go up on this list. I'm not going to lie, I really do. But I can't put them on that list until they show me that they can make some noise in the playoffs. Speaking of Josh Allen, my number 4 team going into this NFL playoffs is the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen, led by the quarterback Josh Allen, the reigning defending NFL MVP. The season he had last year, even though I'm just going to be honest, he had a phenomenal season, but I did believe that Lamar should have won MVP. That's just my thing. I think Lamar had a better year, and he had better numbers as well. But I'm not mad at him winning MVP, because the Buffalo Bills, I don't even think a lot of people had the Bills even making it to the playoffs. So because they lost a lot of their wide receivers, and like Gabe Davis and stuff like that. So, man, and Stephon Diggs as well. And to have the year that he had last season with those receivers, with a rookie wide receiver who damn near turned out to become his number 1 wide receiver, which he was a pretty good wide receiver. Should have got drafted in the 1st round last year. Got drafted in the 2nd round. And the defense is pretty good. Like the Ravens, sometimes they can have their little lapses. Sometimes, depending on who they're going against, they can kind of raise their game when they feel like it sometimes. But I do believe in the Buffalo Bills, and I do believe in Josh Allen, and I actually have seen Josh Allen perform in the big time when it matters. But the defense actually lets him down. Unlike Lamar Jackson, I've seen Josh Allen, like Lamar Jackson is bald, but he's not consistent in the playoffs like Josh Allen has been. Josh Allen has actually had Patrick Mahomes beat on a couple of occasions, including last year, when they had a drop where, a couple other things happened. But football is football. Anything can happen in football. But that is my number 4 team, the Buffalo Bills. My number 3 team, and this is probably going to surprise a lot of people, but this is actually my 3rd best team in the NFL to me, and it is none other than the Kansas City Chiefs. And I know, now a lot of people are like, you're going to put the Chiefs in number 3? The Chiefs are your 3rd best team, led by Patrick Mahomes, the best quarterback in the NFL right now? Yes, the Chiefs are my 3rd best team, led by Patrick Mahomes. And then, let me give it to you straight like this, bro. The last couple of years, without Tyreek Hill, even though they've won Super Bowls, that offense hasn't really looked that good. Travis Kelce, the last couple of seasons, hasn't looked that good. And Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. We know he's the best. He's the best in the business. But if you really look, Patrick Mahomes was nowhere near MVP caliber last year. Now, a lot of people be like, well, that's the reason why they should be higher on this list. Yeah, because they have a lot more potential. Nah, I don't think that that's just a mistake. I really don't think that I'm not saying like they're a bad team. Obviously, it's the Kansas City Chiefs led by Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. You're never going to be a bad team. They're going to win a lot of games. But the way that they win those games, I think people are going to have to start having those discussions, because they went from being a dominant vertical down the field team to, when Tyreek Hill left, to becoming kind of a mediocre down. They don't really throw the ball down the field that often. They kind of became like a mediocre pass offense, and it has nothing to do with Patrick Mahomes. It really doesn't. So the offensive line hasn't always been that good. They've been up and down, and really more so down than anything. And Travis Kelce hasn't stepped up the way he has been in the past. So, and they haven't had a true number one wide receiver. I do think Xavier Worthy can take another step and be like that Tyreek Hill type of guy. I'm not saying that he is. The first round pick out of Texas last year, he had a really good rookie year last year with Kansas City. Even with that being said, they still made it to the Super Bowl with a mediocre offense. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying they're a bad team, but I just don't think they're one of the best. I don't think they're the best team. Which leads me to my number 2 team in the NFL, and that is the Detroit Lions. Now, the Detroit Lions, I really had this team going to the Super Bowl last year. Like, at the beginning of the season, it was pretty obvious, even when the Chiefs were winning, it was pretty obvious that the Lions weren't fully healthy. That is a tough team to beat. They are physical. They can run the ball. They can throw the ball. They have trick plays. They are dynamic. They had such a dynamic offense last year. Like, they can kill you with any which way they really want to. And on defense, they had Aiden Hutchinson, who's a headhunter, and he's coming to get you. You know what I'm saying? And the only thing that derailed the Detroit Lions last year was the fact that their entire defense was pretty much ravaged. Their entire defense went down, including Aiden Hutchinson, who was gone for the rest of the season. Their entire defense got beat. Yeah, it was done. And they still looked competitive in that playoff game against the Eagles. To me, that's just my thing. When you look at that game, you can just tell that defense, they didn't stand a chance because their defense didn't stand a chance. And like, the Detroit Lions, to me, from top to bottom, when you look at their roster and who they have, and they're not solely dependent on Jared Goff having to be great at quarterback, even though Jared Goff's a really good quarterback. And that's a pretty good thing, that they don't have to be reliant on Jared Goff to be the guy. They have so many weapons. Jahmyr Gibbs, man. They got Montgomery as well in the backfield. That's a power and speed combination. Like, they got 2 really good wide receivers. They got Jameson Williams on the outside who can stretch the field, like take the top off the defense. They got and he's not even the best wide receiver. Like, I can't think of his name right now. I'm sorry. Amon St. Brown. He's the number 1 guy. He's just one of the most underrated receivers, Pro Bowl caliber wide receiver every single year. Like, they got it. Like, they got it. If they offensively, they got everything. And their offensive line is really stout, led by Penei Sewell. One of the biggest, nastiest, most technical offensive linemen you gonna ever see in the NFL. I swear to God, she's a generational talent as an offensive lineman. But that's my number 2 team. I do believe if they stay healthy, they can make a run at the Super Bowl. I really do. Which leads me to my number 1 team, and I really hate to say this because I'm a Cowboys fan, but my number 1 team is the Philadelphia Eagles. I hate to say it, but I gotta tell the truth. I gotta keep it real, because I ain't finna be no hater. Even though I'm a Cowboy fan, the Cowboys are mediocre at best. Don't even get me started. Not about them. The Philadelphia Eagles, to me, are the number 1 team, not just because they are the reigning Super Bowl defending champions, but when you've seen the talent gap, to me, between the Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs, and you realize why the Kansas City Chiefs are my third best team. And man, yeah, the Eagles are that good. I think the Eagles are going to repeat as NFC East champions. I think the rest of the NFC is going to probably have to run through Philadelphia, even though I think Detroit is going to have something to say about that if they can stay healthy. I think they have it all. Jalen Hurts is one of the young elite quarterbacks in the NFL right now. Saquon Barkley, what can you say? Hall of Famer, NFL future Hall of Famer, one of the best running backs in the league. Offensive Player of the Year, had over 2,000 yards in his first year. Thank you, Giants. Thank you, Giants, for that. They have a stout offensive line, one of the best offensive lines in the league. Just physical, nasty, just powerful. Man, they just, bro, they are a physical team. Like, and they have receivers. They like Smith and Brown. Like, they just like AJ Brown being the physical dominant 230 pounds of muscle. You throw it up, he's gonna go get it, almost like a tight end on the outside. And man, they got it. And then you get to the best part of that team, that defense. And led by Jalen Carter, who they should have been the #1 pick, but failed all the way to #9 to the Philadelphia Eagles. As you can see, the Cowboy fan in me coming out is really bad, but really impressed at the same time. Yeah, they got it all. They got it all. I do think that secondary might be a little suspect. I do believe that secondary can be tested. I do think even though I do think that's a good secondary, their secondary to me is a little suspect. They can be tested, but overall, they still, even with that, they're the best team in the league. They get a lot of flack during the season when guys don't be looking a certain way, but they still end up winning games. They're winning those games because they are a really freaking good team, and when they all on the same page, they're a freaking dominant team, and they can run through you like they showed the Kansas City Chiefs. So, yeah, that's my top 5 NFL teams going into the season. Training camp started toward the end of next month. So yeah, training camp started, then preseason, and then boom, we are going to be full-fledged in football season. I can't wait for that. We're gonna be excited. We're gonna be talking a lot about football on this podcast. We're gonna talk a lot about college football as well. So it's like, man, I'm excited. I'm excited. I know this is the off season, but on this podcast, there's no such thing as an off season. Everything is still going. You're gonna get all the latest everything here. I was supposed to get into more topics, guys. I really could still. I think I kind of went over my time limit that I have set for myself. This just goes to show how much I love talking about sports and stuff, man. So this is gonna be, it's not a sports podcast, but you would think it was because I love talking about sports. But I talk about a lot of things. I talk about a lot of things. But that's a lot of the stuff. Oh my goodness, I got all that around my mouth. Oh my gosh, sorry, excuse me out. Cotton mouth. But that's it for today. I went over my time limit that I set for myself. I'm gonna come back with another podcast. I'm gonna try to do one tomorrow when I get off work, and try to do a podcast for you guys. If I can't, I'll be back Tuesday, and we just gonna have to keep it running from here. I'm just gonna keep it real with y'all. But whatever I do, I'm gonna be dropping podcasts, and I'm definitely gonna be consistent. It's just like tomorrow, I want to drop a podcast, but like when I get off, I be tired as hell. Then I have to find, you know what I'm saying? I gotta be in the right light or whatever. But that's what we're gonna do. But tomorrow, I'm probably more likely gonna do a podcast. I'm gonna give y'all a podcast tomorrow while I'm getting off work, and it might not be as long, but I'm gonna give it to y'all. and because I feel like y'all deserve it. So we gonna set this standard of being consistent. No excuses. I'm gonna set the standard of being consistent. So I want to thank y'all for watching this podcast with me, man. I want to thank y'all for tuning in. If you have any other topics you want me to talk about, just comment in a comment below. Subscribe, hit the subscribe button right here on that side, right down there. Subscribe to my channel, Lil Duwatt. Keep going up. Hit the like button. Let me know that you like it, you support it. And let me know what y'all want me to talk about, bro, because I got a lot of other things that I want to talk about. And like what's going on with politics. We all know that that's some bullshit with Trump and the war with Iran and all of that BS. I talked about that on the last episode, the last podcast as well. But a lot of stuff. But it's a lot of stuff that I want to get into. But if I get into those things, I'm going to be running over my time limit that I be having to set for myself. But yeah, let me know what you guys want me to talk about. We can get into it. And like I said, be on the lookout for new music. Be on the lookout for my new music coming from me. New music videos. We got to be on the lookout for a lot of stuff. I got a lot of stuff planned, y'all. I got a lot of special guests and everything. And we gonna get rocking. We gonna be rocking. But before I can finish this podcast, I gotta start and finish every podcast the same way and give a shout out to the God, the big God. God. He's my sponsor, your sponsor, our sponsor, God. So shout out to the big God. I'm sorry, y'all. I was getting distracted and messed up my whole moniker. I was trying to see what was going on, but yeah. Shout out to God. Without God, I wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be here, and we wouldn't be able to talk about these things. I hope y'all have a blessed weekend, bro. I'm gonna tune in tomorrow with a podcast for y'all, straight off of work, man. And we just gonna get straight into it. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Be blessed. Have a blessed weekend. Stay safe. Stay hydrated. And if you smoke, stay high. That's it for the Mercenary podcast. Be easy.